Hello, and welcome to Conversations Worth Your While, a show in which I chat with authentic, heart centered experts about interesting topics to spark, inspire, and motivate both personal and professional growth. Today, we are going to have a really great conversation. I want to share that it's very common to fear big legal bills or have anxiety over not knowing what you're going to spend on legal bills in the upcoming year when it comes to your business. So many small businesses might not actually address what needs to be addressed, and therefore they put themselves and their businesses at risk. But it's important to know that the likelihood of your business's success is a direct reflection of the relationship that you have with your attorney, amongst other professionals. And so once you start being proactive and having regular conversations with your attorney, then issues don't actually become problems. And that frees you up to do what you do best. So stay tuned. We're going to have a really great conversation today. I am Linda Bucher, and I have the best job in the world. I help people to get unstuck. It's my superpower. I love empowering high potential, multi-passionate people to find their superpowers, to get to the next level and get the most out of life, because that's what you're here for. And I do that as a transformational speaker, as a master certified life coach, and I just love to help people get unstuck. So if that's something interesting to you, you want to get to the next level and get the most out of life, you can just hop on over to lindabucher.com, see what I got to offer. Lots of freebies on the site for you. Plus so many episodes of Conversation with Your While. You'll find those on the website and on all the major platforms. All right, so today's topic, once again, it's how to love your business attorney with no surprise bills. And you're probably thinking like, finally. And so today I have the pleasure of being joined by Patti Mancabelli of Her Corporate Counsel. And Patti's making big, beautiful ripples in this world in a very unique way. She is a professional soul sister for women business owners. And if you're like going, ooh, then you definitely got to keep listening. So Patti, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me, Linda.
You're welcome. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do, who you serve, how you're making these ripples?
Yeah, for sure. I serve women-owned businesses by developing deep collaborative relationships with them to understand their fears and their goals and help them move forward in their business with contracts that address those fears and goals to make sure that their investment in their business is fully protected.
Mm, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. And everyone's like, oh my God, that sounds so good. Because we have fear and anxiety, right? I mentioned those earlier, right? I, I have had other attorneys that have charged so much money. I was like, oh, I'm going to just have to figure this out myself. I'm going to go on rocketlawyer.com and I'll get it done, right? Not, but then I'm second guessing myself. I know I'm probably not protecting myself, but this fear and anxiety over what am I going to spend? Can my business afford it? Is a real thing. And so what happens then is if I'm paying by the hour, I'm like, I got to hurry up and just say the essential stuff because I can't be charged every 15 minutes more and more and more because I have to keep my legal bills down because I don't know what I'm going to need further on in the year. So I'm being really cautious and protective. And, you mentioned it. I'm not sharing everything that I should share. I'm not probably telling you everything you need to know. Right. And that happens, not just in with your attorney, but it happens with all our professionals who are charging by the hour. What can you share with us about that?
Sure. I have found I've been practicing for 28 years, been a solo attorney for 11. I have found in my experience the magic happens in those tangential conversations. So you finish up talking about what it is that you wanted to talk with me about, and we just then talk for a few minutes before we hang up. And then, oh gee whiz, this other issue that's come up in my business. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. But we have the time because we don't bill by the hour. We have the time to talk about that. It's
Oh,
different.
let me do a ding, ding, ding. You don't bill by the hour. Oh my God, how refreshing. How refreshing. So people can spend time with you and they can just tell you everything. They don't have to hold back. They don't have to worry about the meter is going on, meter, meter, meter. So that is so refreshing. I've never heard of a law firm that doesn't charge by the hour. That's
It's
amazing.
it's new. It's definitely due to Western New York, and New York in general. It's a subscription plan for your legal team. So you pay monthly. You have unlimited access by scheduled telephone calls as much as you need us. And then we, based on where your business is at, whether you're a micro business or a slightly bigger business or even bigger than that, what your needs are on a quarterly basis for contracts, because contracts are really how you protect your business. If I know your fears and your goals, I can have provisions in the contract that speak to those issues.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I like that because there's no, well, first of all, I could plan for my budget, right? I could plan paying monthly. I know exactly how much my legal fees are going to be. No surprises. And with the security of knowing that because I have time to share absolutely everything I want to share with you, all my fears, all my insecurities, all my whatever. What if I want to partner with this? What if I want to do that with the other? Because I do a lot of collaborations and they're not protected legally. They're just like in agreement, like, hey, why don't we do this together? All right, who owns it? Oh, we both own it. We're just having a conversation. I know, I'm looking at your face. You're like, okay, we got to talk, Linda. But when you know you have the time to like bring up all that stuff and talk through it, and you're going to get all the stuff done that you need to like, because I know there's questions that you probably would ask me that I would never think of asking myself. That's one thing. I don't know how you attorneys do that. You come up with these amazing questions that I never would have thought of.
Well,
Um,
we were taught that in law school. It's issue spotting, right? We all of our exams were about issue spotting. So if you can tell me, gee whiz, I talked to this person and we might want to go do this together. If you talk to me 6 months before you're ready to jump into that relationship, we can plan it. We can minimize the risks without just, oh, gee whiz, I don't want to call my attorney and pay because I don't even know if this thing's going to work out. That's not how it works. You share and we plan so that your issues don't become problems.
that's amazing. This is the best model ever. This is amazing. This is really great for people. So what it does is it lets us plan our budget. It lets us relax because we have the time to share with you and we can speak with you multiple times a month if we want, we can let you know what's going on, what we're thinking to in our business, our goals. Oh, next quarter I want to do this, next year I want to do that. We have the time to do that. And you're thinking around all the potential issues and saying, oh, we can protect you for all of that. And have you thought about doing it this way? Maybe you should do it that way instead of this way. So that reduces the anxiety that a business owner would have for like either I'm going to overspend or I'm just going to figure it out, or when there's a problem I'll deal with it, but that's got comes with its own anxiety, right? So what's happening is you're giving people what we really want is as business owners. We really want to feel comfortable, we want to have peace of mind, and we want to feel empowered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We find that women-owned businesses, not only, but mostly, they're open to this type of really connecting and collaborating in a way that sometimes men aren't. If a man has a business and shares our value systems and wants that type of connection, awesome, send them to us. But we're finding that the women-owned businesses have had experiences where they haven't been heard, and they really do want this type of closeness that this relationship offers.
Yeah, I think women in general do crave connection. And we don't think about connection when it comes to business services and our professional support system. We think about networking, like, oh, I got to connect with people via networking, but it's not the same level as what you're talking about. So in my business as a coach, people need to we need to have that soul connection like that. that happens all the time with my clients and me. And so they need to feel safe to share. Even if they think they're embarrassed by their fears, like, what if this happens, right? They need to not feel embarrassed. They need to feel safe. That's huge. And that takes a different type of connection that not all business support personnel offer, right? They offer, oh, here's our portfolio. You choose from this. I'm your banker. I'm your insurance agent. I'm your whatever. And they're not offering this deep level connection. But what happens is it's kind of like what you're saying, you're an issue spotter. In my business, it's the same thing. When people feel safe enough to share, now my antenna go up and go, oh, that's not even the real problem. They think that's, oh, we got to go over here. It helps me do my job even better because they feel safe enough to share. So having that connection at that level, and like you said, especially women, I really think crave it. I mean, how amazing would it be if we, this soul sister connection that you offer as an attorney that we also have with these other business support systems, right? Like that's a pretty cool thing. So what we're saying here is it takes a different type of relationship with your professional support network.
I believe this is authentic to me. Allows me to bring my whole self to the relationship, and clients don't necessarily want to pay an extra $350 an hour to get to that connection. And through this model, they don't. They get it with a flat rate, and they're encouraged to call us. We talk on a regular scheduled basis, but if things come up, then we increase that connection by talking more frequently. And then again, creating the legal protection through contracts to get them where they want to go.
That's really great. That's wonderful. So something that our listeners can do right now. Okay, we're acknowledging there's a fear and there's an anxiety, but now we're sharing there's another way, and it's really through deep connection. So something people can do right now is to look at the professional network, right? Give some thought, like how much do you share? Where are you holding back? Where are you afraid to spend money because you're not sure there's a guarantee, or you're not, it's going to be a little too much, and so you may be holding back, right? And how would it be? I'd like to say imagine to my clients, like imagine if, right? Imagine if all your business support people worked like you work, Patti, where you have as much time as you need. Like I could just sit down with my accountant and go, what about this? What about that? Or my insurance agent say, I know you're selling me this policy, but what if I felt connected with you and did that you really had my personal best interest and you knew where I was going with my business? Because I'm not normally sharing that with anybody. My account gets to see retroactively what I'm doing, not proactively, right? So like, imagine that, like that peace of mind that like, oh, I got the best team. Like that would be amazing, right?
Yeah, so I would suggest, as you're sitting at a family gathering, hopefully you're not doing all the work, but if you have downtime, excuse me, over the holidays, think about your relationship with your business attorney. Do you have one? When you get an email from that person, do you get fearful because there might be a bill in there that you don't expect? Or do you look at your calendar and you see you have a call with your attorney and you get super excited and happy? If you don't feel super excited and happy to talk with your business attorney, think about whether that person can get there with you. Maybe they can. Maybe they just need to be asked. Maybe you could ask your law firm if they could represent you on a subscription plan basis. And if you can, super. But if you can't, think about making a change in the new year.
Right. New Year's a good time to do all this reassessment. I really like that as a time to look back as a business owner. And, everyone does these analysis like, oh, what did I do poorly? What did I do well? Like, okay, we all know how to do that as business owners. But I think, what if we were to look back and say, where didn't I have peace of mind? Where was I fearful? Where was I hesitant? Right? Those are the things to look at. And if you were fearful with these business support personnel, your professional network, then this is a good place to say, okay, maybe I can change how I work with them. So how can I foster this deep connection I want? If you're fearful in other areas, I'm not sure what direction to go. I'm afraid, what if I raise the bar and I have to work so hard for the rest of my life and I hate this business because I don't want to work that hard? Like, if that's your fear, then you come to me. I'll help you get through all the what if I'm not enough? What if I don't like it? What if I don't know where to go? What if, those kind of what ifs. That's my purview for sure. And so I think that's a good thing for us to do, is to look back and say, where are my fears? Where are my anxieties over the past years and moving forward? What are my what ifs? Make a list, and then let's parse them into the pragmatic things I can find solutions with. Maybe talking with Patti, talking with my accountant, talking with my, what can I create for myself? And then what's just emotional? And then I'll, talk to Linda about that. So I think that's a good way to move forward in the new year for everybody.
Yep, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Patti, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful guest. I definitely appreciate you being a guest on Conversations Worth Your While. Do you have anything that you'd like to share with our folks today?
Yeah, I have recently written an ebook, The Essential Contracts Every Woman-Owned Business Needs for Success in New York. And if you send an email to info@mancabellilaw.com, we'll send you a copy of the ebook. Mancabelli is M as in Mary, Ancabelli, but I think Linda's going to throw that in the show notes in case you don't want to listen to my spelling. I do it 40 times a day on the phone, so it's a habit. And Her Corporate Counsel is the DBA. It's a relatively new launch from our traditional law firm name with my last name. So it's a focus on what we're passionate about, which is giving voices and empowerment to women-owned businesses.
Oh, well, beautiful. I will definitely put that into the show notes so people can get your ebook, The 5 Essential Contracts Every Woman-Owned Business Needs to Succeed in New York. So that is our show. And once again, I'm Linda Bucher. I'm on a mission to inspire and impact millions of people to know their worth and share their gifts, deliberately creating big, beautiful ripples in this world. And so if you're ready to finally get unstuck, get to the next level, and get the most out of life, go to my website. There's a cute little quiz on there called the Little Quiz for Going Big. You can just take that for free. I also have Success on Your Own Terms, which is a wonderful workbook free on my website to help you redefine success for who you are instead of chasing someone else's definition of success. So we've got some good stuff for you. And I'd like you to come back next week for another great show to help you grow. So until next time, please make sure that you've made this conversation worth your while by fueling the spark that it ignited.